In this video, I'm going to be setting up my lunch rotation for 2025. I will be using in this video the lunches sheet from my Set It and Forget It meal planning template. And if you like the templates that I'm using, I will put a link in the description down below and in a pinned comment where you can get your own template if you would like. So kind of like with the breakfast, if you saw the breakfast video, I'm going to be keeping lunches pretty simple. I am going to do a 1 week rotation just because we are in a crazy season right now. My kids are in a lot of activities and I feel like are running a lot compared to previous years. It just seems like it's more and more every year, but I love it at the same time. I think this is so fun. I love watching them really excel in their activities, and even though it's a lot of work, I like taking them around and watching them do their thing. So I'm just gonna be keeping it to a simple 1 week rotation. So I have the breakfast template here, and what I'm kind of going to be looking at is some things like, I don't necessarily want them to be eating bread for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So if they're having bread for breakfast, I may choose a different type of lunch, or if they're having bread for lunch, different breakfast, things like that. I try to make sure also they're getting a fair amount of vegetables every day. So again, just making sure they have the variety in their meals and they aren't eating sandwiches or bread stuff for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because that's just not as many vegetables as I would like. So I'm just kind of looking at those things. I like kind of keeping it here side by side to make sure that I'm not doubling up too much and missing out on other things. I'm also going to be looking at my calendar. I still have that here, my meal planning calendar, and just kind of looking at our weekly schedule at a glance, making sure that it makes sense for the days that I need it to make sense for. So again, Sundays, I'm not going to put anything for lunches. We tend to do a lot of leftovers for lunches anyway, but Sunday's just kind of a flex day for us. It depends on the day what we are doing. And I'm not gonna stress about making a plan for it because the plan is just so likely to change. So we will start with Monday. Now, Monday was muffins for breakfast, so I want to try to do something that's not muffins for lunch. I am tempted to do a quinoa for lunch because then I could do a double batch and then have the quinoa for the cereal for Tuesday already made. I like that idea a lot, actually, and I may do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and I'm going to make the decision. I'm going to do it. So Monday is going to be quinoa bowls. Tuesday, we're having quinoa cereal for breakfast, so I could do a sandwich for lunch, and I think I will do that. I think that will work well with the schedule for that day. Wednesday, we have toast, peanut butter, applesauce. Now, I think what I could do for Wednesday, for one of my dinners, I'm going to do beans again, and we'll get to that in a future video, but I think I could do Wednesday leftovers. Just trying to think through the days here. Wednesday is a pretty busy day. I may have to do sandwiches on that one, even though they had toast for breakfast, but it depends a little bit on what the schedule will be. So I'm gonna wait on Wednesday for 1 minute here. It's also possible to do leftovers that day. Thursday is the sweet potato cereal for breakfast. Thursday will definitely be leftovers because we are home for lunch that day. And then Friday will also be leftovers. And I may just have to do, I'll probably say sandwiches or leftovers for lunch on Wednesday. I like the quinoa bowls for out and about because I can kind of throw it all together, mix it up, and then just bring along hummus or a sauce or something like that. Again, check out that video that I did on the quinoa meals if you want more ideas. But that's a pretty easy one, and it's not like it's going to spill. It's not like a soup or something like that where you have to worry about it dripping and leaking out of the bowls or anything like that. So it's just a nice compact travel meal that we like a lot. So I think I'm happy with that, actually. And then Saturdays, am I going to make a lunch plan for that day? I think I usually just put it on my dinner plan because our Saturdays are kind of weird. We go to church on Saturday, and then we have generally a big meal at a little bit later of a lunchtime, and then a light supper. So it's kind of it's not just a normal breakfast, lunch, dinner day. And I think I'm just not gonna write it on this one. I will do that when I do the dinners. But what I've got is Monday, quinoa bowls. Tuesday, sandwiches. Wednesday will be either sandwiches or leftovers, depending on how all of our schedule shakes out on that day. Thursday will be leftovers, and Friday will be leftovers. And like I said, we're in a busy season. I'm not going to worry about doing a 4-week rotation for us right now. However, if this looks boring to you, you could absolutely do more weeks and just kind of rotate through. If you do these rotations, let's see, where is it? I've got, where did it go? All right, here it is. I knew I had it somewhere. Got all my templates spread out here so I can grab what I need. If you do the rotations, you can create, even if you do up to 4 weeks of rotations, this is also in the workbook, the template, you can create a this week's menu with your breakfast, lunches, snacks, and dinner. And if you do 4-week rotation or 1 week or 2 week, whatever for each of those, you can fill this out 1, 2, 3, or 4 times and then know exactly every week what you need and make it really easy for grocery shopping as well. I also have some grocery lists that kind of can follow this template as well if you decide to just do the rotations for everything and not do the dinners in the crazy way that I do it, that I will show you guys again here very soon. But I had a lot of people choose to do it this way when they went through my program last time, and they really liked it. And they also just made a binder, made everything all succinct so they could easily just access what they needed for each of the weeks, and it worked out really well. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing that I wanted to make sure to share with you guys. But that is all I had for the lunches. If you would like any help setting up your meal plan for 2025 and you want to just get it done and over with, be sure to check out my Set It and Forget It Meal Planning Bootcamp, where we will plan all of your meals for 2025 in just 5 days. And there are live coaching calls with me every day of the bootcamp, so you can hop on there, get your questions answered, and get your meal plan filled out as quickly as possible. All right, guys, that's all for this video, and I will see you on the next one.